apparently it's May, so we'd better catch up on some April crafting. Hello and welcome back to Stitches and Books. My name is Becky and I'm going to show you all of my crafty things from April. I had planned to do this podcast like 2 or 3 weeks ago because there was so much to show you between the last episode and this one that I thought I would do like a little midway. I thought I could justify like a 2-week update from the last one. And then this is the first opportunity I've had to sit down and talk to you. We had a little weekend away. We've had some very exciting and stressful house things going on. So it's just, yeah, today I was like, absolutely nothing else can happen until I have recorded a podcast. So I have lots to show you, and I'm going to start with the obvious elephant in the room, if you will, and my hair. As always, is annoying me. Can't decide what to do with it. I'm like, do I go for a bob? Do I grow it out? Do I cut it all short again? I don't know. I finished my sea glass tea. I think I spoke about this on Instagram a little bit. It is done. I have some regrets. There's a few things about it that I'm not happy with. But it is beautiful. I really love the colours, how they work together. Here, I'll stand up and show you. Really love how the colours work together. I'm so pleased with like how it looks. I'm not 100% happy with how it fits. I cropped it, hang on, push the bench out. I cropped it. I think I cropped it too cropped. This dress is a bit big. I think it's a little bit too cropped, maybe. Depends on what I'm wearing. I couldn't wear it with jeans. I don't think I'd be able to even wear it with high-waisted jeans unless they were like, you know, super high-waisted. I can wear it with high-waisted skirts. I can wear it with dresses. I can wear it with dungarees. I think it's okay, but maybe I should have just gone a little bit longer. Also, I didn't do any body shaping. Sorry if you can hear Milo. He's very vocal at the moment. I didn't do any body shaping. I kind of wish that it was a bit tighter fitted. He's not been napping very well, so if you can hear him screaming, it's because he had a very short nap and is probably now really tired. Yeah, I didn't do any body shaping. I would have liked to maybe have been a bit tighter. I really like it over this dress, actually. Like, I've worn it with a couple of things that have been like, no, I'm gonna swap it out for something else. Over this dress, I quite like it. Sizing is slightly off. I started knitting this like 3 years ago. I had either just finished breastfeeding Rory or I was like coming to the very end of breastfeeding Rory. So I was like definitely a different shape. I'm now exclusively feeding a 6-month-old. So I am, you know, if you've breastfed, if you know people who've breastfed, then you'll know you're a very different shape while you're breastfeeding. Like, I am probably going to gain weight once I finish breastfeeding Milo. Like, I mean, that's going to be a little way down the line, but like, this is not the shape I'm going to be forever. But I think the fit of this is not quite right for my body right now. It sort of all comes up like this. I'm like, feel like I'm constantly sort of pulling it down. I know I made some errors in the increases around here. So I think that's what causes it to sort of come up a bit at the front here. Like as I'm wearing it, it kind of comes up and then I get this like, I think my microphone is probably weighing it down, but I get like a sort of pinched bit here, which I think might just be from missing some increases and getting them in the wrong places. So it sort of works its way upwards. I feel like it's like further down at the back than it is at the front. It's got this like gapey bit, but you can see how it like sinks down at the back, not the front. I might turn it around and see, but the back, because I knew it was going to be the back, when I was first starting, I was doing all my joining new colours at the back, because I was like, I don't care what it looks like back there. So I think it would look really ugly on the front. So I have worn it. Every time I put it on, I get really irritated by the neck, and I'm like constantly pulling it down. But by the time I've worn it for the day, usually like over it by the time it comes to the end of the day. So I do really like it. Like I say, I love the colours. The colours are absolutely perfect. It's come out like exactly how I thought it would come out in terms of like the colour combinations and things like that. I like the length of the sleeves. I didn't sew the ends in. I said I wasn't going to, and I did not. I cut them short, but not so short that they're all going to unravel. Possibly slightly regret that. Some of the ones that were like right by the ribbing, I did sew in because I thought I'm not going to be able to cut these short enough that they won't show. And I didn't want to cut them so short because then they would unravel. So I do get a few little ends. So this on, a few little ends that peek out. I don't really care. It was a lot of ends though, so yeah, there was just no way I was gonna, if I ever wanted to wear it, there was no way I was gonna be sewing in all those ends. So yeah, there's like definite loves, definite ugh. So yeah, I think the shaping is just not, like the increasing is just not quite right. But I will wear it, and maybe I will come to love it for its quirks. I don't know. I would make another one. It's definitely not like the pattern's fault. It's definitely me. I don't make a lot of garments, so like I'm still kind of quite like new to figuring out how best to fit a garment to my body, and also my weight fluctuates massively. So I want something will fit me 1 week, won't fit me like a few weeks later. So yeah, it's tricky to get something that fits like really, really nicely all the time. But I'm really pleased that I persevered and finished it and didn't rip it out, which was what I was imagining of a number of stages. I thought I was just going to rip it out. I'm glad that I added like a few rounds to the sleeve. I was talking about just going straight into ribbing once I picked them up. That would have been too short. I like this. I like how this falls just here. So yeah, I mean, mostly, I'm going to stand up again. Mostly, I'm happy with how it looks. Like I say, like it just sort of, I blocked it quite aggressively down to try and get rid of some of the sort of flaring. Yeah, I like it with this dress. The dress is a little bit big, but yeah, really love how it has turned out. But it's just those little fit things. I'm sure about. Maybe I need to wear a microphone on it just all the time, because that's sort of helping pull it down. If you have any like tips, is there anything I can do that doesn't involve me like cutting into it and like knitting in a whole extra panel? What could I do? I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. But you know, maybe you know a tip or a trick. Like what if I like picked up, if I took the if I took the neckband off and picked up again and like maybe did something there. I have no idea what I would do, but what do you think? Is there anything that I could do? I don't know. Anyway. I really like it. Sea glass tee, pattern by Wool and Pine Designs. I used my 2022, I think, advent calendar from a homespun house, alternated with a skein of hand-dyed yarn that I dyed myself, and changed the mini skein colour every round. So that's why there's so many ends to weave in. Yeah, I do love it. I just don't always love wearing it, which is maybe a bit of an issue for a garment. Right, so that's this one. You'll probably see me wearing it. I'm quite glad that I'm never going to have to talk about it again because I feel like I've been talking about it for, well, I have been talking about it for about 4 years. I think by the time I cast it off, it had been exactly 3 years or exactly 4 years since I'd cast it on. So I looked on my Ravelry page as I was casting it off and I was like, wow, it has actually been on my needles for, I think it must have been 3 years. You never have to hear about it again. It is not the only finished object that I have this month. I have been trying to work through some stash. Casting this off gave me like a real burst of wanting to cast some stuff on. I think it kind of lifted a bit of a fog of like feeling like I should be working on this. Whenever I was thinking about casting on a garment or working on anything else, I was like, I should finish my Sealass tee. I'm like now just casting on loads of things, but I'm working on everything. Like depending on how I'm feeling, I'm working on other stuff. So I cast on a crocheted project and finished it in the time since the last episode. I finished it in about a week and a half. I just flew through it. It was so much fun to make. I've got a little nook in the living room where the desktop computer is, and that is where I sit to play video games in the evenings usually. Not very often, but like maybe once or twice a week I sit there for a couple of hours in the evening to play video games, and it gets cold in that corner. I don't know why. But it gets really cold in that corner. Not so much now, but when it's cooler, it gets cold there. And so I was like, I need something to just throw around my shoulders. Just something really, like, I wanted something really warm, but just easy to throw around my shoulders. So not like a shawl that was going to be like really big. Yeah, and it didn't have to sort of, it's not something I'm going to wear out. So it just needed to be functional. And I had a blanket club from Gamer Crafting from 2 years ago. It wasn't last year, it wasn't. From 2 years ago, I think. And I hadn't decided what to do with it. It was DK weight yarn. And I love the mini skeins, but they're probably not colours that I would have put into anything if I'd chosen the colours myself. Like, all of them are beautiful. There's a couple in particular that I really love, but yeah, it's like it's like heavy on purples, and I like purple, but it's not my favourite colour. Yeah, so it was one of those tricky things where I was like, I wanted to pick the right project to make with it, but also I think because the colours weren't just exactly what I would have liked, I was also kind of not being drawn towards it. So I thought it would probably be perfect for this project because it's like a gamey theme, and the idea is that I'll use this while I'm gaming. So that was kind of nice. So it kind of got me excited to do it. And then I found, I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to make. I had seen a couple of people, Joe from Hooked and Happy, and Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. They have both made at least one of these patterns, and it is the Just Feel Festive wrap. Oh, it's Just Feel Festive shawl by Kalisha Ryan. Here it is. It is a bias crochet granny stitch shawl. It's like a big long scarf. You could definitely wear it as a scarf. It would be like super duper chunky, but you could probably do like a little, it's going to get muffled, 1 second. if you like a really chunky scarf, it would be great for that. But it's also great for, it's got a really nice weight to it because it's a DK weight yarn. It's got a really lovely weight, so it actually sort of stays on my shoulders, and I can sort of like do this to sort of cover my shoulders, and then yeah, it like stays. I would usually like cross in front, but I don't want to muffle my microphone. So yeah, it doesn't slip off, which is really nice. It just covers exactly the part of my arms that gets cold when I'm sitting. I've like snagged a nail and it keeps like catching on fluff and really annoying. Must resist the urge to like bite it or peel it off. Yeah, I really, really love this. It was so much fun to crochet. I learned some new techniques. I really loved, I don't know why, but so on one side you're increasing every row or every other row, and on the other side you're decreasing every other row to get that like bias slant. And the way that you do the decreases, I don't know what it was. It was just every time I got to it, it was really exciting. I really, really enjoyed doing the decreases on one end. So it was good from I'm not a big crocheter, so it was really good from sort of a learning how to do some stitches point of view. So yeah, really, really, really enjoyed making it. Like and like I say, some of the colours were just beautiful. Like this one right at the end is just some lovely like purples and greens in it. I think I like the really variegated ones, like this blue that's like hinted at in this one. Yeah, lots of really, really pretty colours. This one, but yeah, some of the colours I just was like maybe not quite so much of a fan of, and like I say, it's really heavily purpley like this. These are the first few months. You got 2 skeins each month, so it's 24 minis, and the pattern is for 24 or 25 I think, but I just did them all, and I did it until I ran out. So all but the last one I used every single little tiny bit of them, and then the last one I just had to, I couldn't go, like I didn't have enough to go all the way back, so I had like a little tiny scrap left. But with all the others I used it, and I just, if I ran out halfway through a row, then I just changed colour. So this is where I changed colour on that last stitch of the cluster, and then just went into the next one. And you can't tell unless you like really look. Some of them are a bit more obvious than others. Although I've lost an another here. Like this cluster, definitely a different colour to that cluster. But you can barely tell, and you like would have to be really, really looking. And yeah, who is going to do that? But I was mostly just amazed at how quick it worked up, and how, I mean, I was pretty much completely monogamous with this. I think I started it on a Tuesday. I must have like gamed on the Monday and been like, I was cold, I need a new shawl, cast it on the Tuesday, and then probably a couple of days after, the like following week, I was done. Within 2 weeks I was wearing it to game. So yeah, I think when I started it I was like, I'll do a few rows or a few minis, and then I'll do something else. By the end I was like, nothing else matters, I just want to finish this. So it was so fast. I was getting through 4 minis in a day or something. Yeah, and it is big, so is exactly what I wanted it to be. So I really loved that. It was a really good use up of a blanket club, which felt good as well. Something that I've had on my stash shelf for quite a while, and it is used up and is in use as well. So that's the problem I have sometimes with blanket clubs is, do I need another blanket? So I need to think outside the box a little bit with blanket clubs, because our house is pretty warm, even in the winter, so I don't really have huge use for blankets. But I do like to have them around, sort of looking nice. So that one is finished. It's the first time you've seen it and the last time you'll see it. Then I still had, when I finished this, I had leftovers, which amazed me. When I weighed, it was 20 gram minis. When I weighed the mini, after I'd cast everything off, most of them I still had about 15 grams left, which was like nice that I would be able to get something else out of it, but also I was then like, what am I going to do with 15 grams? So again, within a couple of days of having finished this, I had selected my next project that I was going to, I wanted to use the yarn up. I was like, I don't want this yarn to be hanging around for too long, so I need to find something like immediately that I can use it for. And oh, I'm like halfway through a row on this. And I came across, oh, okay, fine. I came across a pattern. I was watching some old, because it's like getting into Advent season now, as in people, dyers putting out their pre-orders for Advents, obviously not, it's almost Christmas. I've been watching a few people's videos about what patterns they like to use their Advents for, and I saw one from Hannah at Chromatic Yarns, and this was from last year or the year before. She was showing a few things that she has used Advents for in the past, and there were a couple of things on there that I liked the look of, and one of them I just got straight on and cast on, and that is the Calico quilt Calico quilt shawl by Samantha Troy. Is that how you spell it? Is that how you say it? Troia. Troia? I'll put a link down below. I was so confident, and then I like realised that it was possibly completely wrong. So here we go. So far, again, like really great progress on something that wasn't even on the horizon last time I was talking to you. I am using each little triangle is a different colour, and I am pretty much just randomly reaching into my project bag and pulling out a colour. I want to try and avoid having like something really pink right next to something really pink. So like if I'd pulled these two colours out together, I would have put them back because they're very, very similar. But I've got some lighter pinks, for example. Maybe that's too similar as well, actually. Yeah, it would just depend on the exact shade, but I'm really, really happy. This one's gone a bit funny, hasn't it? Definitely made some mistakes in this one. I'm hoping it will block out and no one will notice. So yeah, really enjoying how this is coming together. It's definitely got a quilty look to it, and I'm thinking that again, this is just going to be a really nice little shawly thing. It's like a triangle shape once it's finished, and then it has tassels on the end. And I think I'm going to do the tassels because I quite like a tassel. Yeah, so really enjoying that. I've got my calcifer charm from Kaylee at Home Tea Knits. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm on my 8th triangle. Those are nice together, aren't they? Those 3. And there's 9 triangles along the top, and then it's just coming down into the point. I guess I could probably go wider if I wanted to, but then it wouldn't come to a point if I was just going to use the minis. But I guess you could probably like make it bigger or smaller if you wanted to. And after doing these little triangles, I still have probably like 7 grams left. I haven't weighed it, but probably around 7 grams of everything left, apart from maybe this one, because this one was what I used for the like neckband. So I've probably got slightly more of that because I ended up buying another 50 gram skein so that I knew I had enough for everything else, and then I used those for the sleeves and the like bottom ribbing. And then because it needed 25 minis and I only had 24 minis, I used what was left over of the hand dyed that I dyed, that I was holding as my like main colour all the way throughout. So this is a slightly different, I think this is like a high twist, whereas this is a little bit more swooshy. So it's slightly different gauge. You can definitely, like, you know, aside from whatever it is that's going on in the middle of this here, which has not got anything to do with gauge. I think I was like increasing when I should have been decreasing for a little bit. I'm not sure, but you can definitely tell it's got a slightly different gauge to it, but I don't mind. That's fine, and that'll be at the top, so in theory it will like get a bit covered by other ones, so I'm not bothered. So yeah, I still have some of this left. I was planning on making, I saw quite a few people at East Anglia Yarn Festival. The first person I saw was Franny from Franny Do Makes. Who else did I see? I can't remember who else I saw, but they had a necklace with little tiny crocheted circles on, and you just do like your like magic loop, or whatever it's called, where you like do your starting circle and then you just go in once all around with whatever stitch it is that you go in with. I don't know what the stitch is called. Maybe a treble, I don't know. And it's just that one little circle, and then you sort of loop them all onto a necklace, and they looked really nice. I wanted to make one of those, but I feel like I'm going to have too much yarn left. And I imagine that necklace will take like 1 gram. I don't know if these will have enough yardage in them for me to put a square into my Cozy Memories blanket. I'm also not really working on my Cozy Memories blanket at the moment, so I don't know that I necessarily need to add more yarn to that like stash of yarns, so I don't know. Haven't decided, but I am enjoying making the little shawl, so I will think about the leftovers at some other point. Ooh, what else? Speaking of leftovers, I started a big magic knot ball, held double of leftovers, and I'm doing an ugly blanket. I'm just doing like big crochet square, and I'm just going to keep going until it's big enough to throw on the floor outside or over some garden furniture, and to just be something that I can like have out there that I can easily wash. Yep, I really like how the yarns are working together. Like, there's definitely some colours coming up next to each other that would normally be a bit like, ooh, but because they're sort of mingled in with other stuff, it like eases them a little bit. Yeah, there's some really beautiful combinations coming through, and there's so many different yarns in here. Some of them are yarns that I have used, others are yarns that I got from like little swaps or from scrap bags and things like that. So a mixture. of things with that, and I'm enjoying it. I take it in the car with me quite a lot because it's really easy to crochet in the car. I am still working on my socks from Green Lambkin Yarns. Ooh, I heard somebody like use a really nice way of, I always struggle to think of a good way to say it, moons of the year. I think it was Jo from Hooked and Happy who was talking about it, and she was like, it's the moons of the year sock club, and I was like, of course that's how you say it, not monthly moons or every month's moons, or whatever it was I was saying. I am in the foot of both, and I just need to work on it. Comes with me when we're out and about, but I don't get, with having Milo now, I don't have an awful lot of hands-free time, even when we're like out and about. You know, I used to knit a lot in coffee shops and like sitting in the park while the boys were playing, but now obviously I've got Milo and he's like, I'm gonna hold him as much as I can. So I don't get as much time to knit. So the socks, the sort of like out and about socks, definitely take a little bit longer, because then in the evenings and stuff when Andrew wants to hold him, I work on bigger projects. So they don't really get as much time being worked on, but maybe I should, they're back. So maybe I should put a little bit more time into those. They are quite good when I'm at home and Milo's asleep on me. They can be quite good because there's not too much bulk of knitting. So yeah, I just need to work on them if I want to work on them. And then final thing to show you that I'm working on is a new cast on that I started day before yesterday, I think. I've been thinking about this one for quite a while and wanting to start it, and it's just not the kind of thing that I could start in the evening while we were watching TV. I needed to start it at some point during the day when I could kind of see and think a little bit about it. And I had like a really optimal moment where the big boys were really engrossed in doing something and Milo was happily playing on the floor. And I was like, now is my chance. I'd wound everything up that I needed at some other point so that I knew that as soon as I had the right moment, I could just get it cast on. And it happened, and it was actually easier to cast on than I thought it was going to be. And also, it's really easy knitting. Andrew's just putting things in the fridge now. And that is the Scrappy Stripes sweater by Mary Made That Designs. And I am using my Chromatic Yarns advent calendar from Mumble years ago, 2-3 years ago. Have I still got the thingy, and does it say what year it is? No, it doesn't. No. But look at this. It is so, so lovely. I'm loving it. It's a fade. The advent was a fade, and like, I think it's just going to be so perfect. This is like the example. And I think I saw somebody used this advent to make this sweater before. So yeah, obviously everybody uses different contrasting yarns, but yeah, I'm really, really happy. I was debating starting at like a random point in the calendar, and because I think it sort of wraps back round, so if you, no matter where you start, it will always like fade back to the beginning. But I decided to just go from day one, partially because some of these colours I thought were going to sort of blend a little bit more into the contrasting colour, the main colour. So I thought I would rather that happen at the back, at the top, than like right in the middle, where it might then look like I've just got like a band of colour. They haven't actually blended as much as I thought they were going to, but I'm still glad I made that choice. So I'm now coming into purples. I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of colour, and I am really enjoying it. It's stripes are magic. They go so quick. This is my like main colour, contrasting colour, solid colour, and it is Cascade 220, and I think I just went for like navy. Can I find the, here it is, Cascade 220, colour 9568. Doesn't have a name on here. And yeah, it's definitely like, what is it? Is it Peruvian Highland wool? It's definitely woolly. It's just 100% wool. It's definitely woolly. It's not like super duper soft, but I wanted something reasonably hard wearing because the mini skeins are a sock, Blueface Leicester nylon mix. And so because the Blueface Leicester is like a woollier yarn, it's not like like merino is like really, really soft. Blueface Leicester is like, it's not scratchy, but it's definitely sturdier. So I wanted something that was going to match that sort of sturdiness. But I wanted something inexpensive to go alongside it, and the Cascade 220 was not expensive. It's 50-gram skeins. I got 4. I hope that's enough. I based that purely off of this t-shirt using 100 grams of my like single skein. So I thought if I get 200 grams, I should be fine, because this will be longer sleeves, I hope. But I thought, given it's going, I'm striping it, it would probably be fine to, if I ended up having to buy another skein, I'd probably be able to make it work. So I'm holding it double because the pattern is for DK and this is 4-ply, but it's working out really nicely. And you can't tell. I always worry sometimes that the stitches might look gappy or something, but they don't. I'm really, really pleased with how it's going, and I just want to be knitting on it all the time. I'm really enjoying it. I have, you start it knitting flat to get the shaping at the back of the neck so that it fits nicely. And so you knit that flat and then you join at the front here-ish. And I am at that point now. I've just joined at the front. Yeah. Oh. So there we go. So now I'm just knitting round and round. So yeah, it was like a bit of back and forward knitting, purling and knitting, but now it's just knit, 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 knit. So really, really, really enjoying this and getting through it much faster than I thought. I don't know, I might have to repeat some of the colours at the bottom, because I feel like, yeah, I got through 4 colours just in the back. I'm thinking, am I going to have enough colours to get all the way through? But I think I can just repeat some. We'll be fine. So that is everything that I'm working on. And like I say, I am actually doing a pretty good job of working on all of these things, dipping in and out of everything. Although I feel like that Scrappy Stripe sweater is going to take a lot of my knitting time, because I'm really loving it. And I'm keeping that over 2 project bags. I've got this one that's like holding all of my extras. I got this from a craft fair 20 years ago. So it's not got any sort of like, it's not got a tag in it. It's not from anybody that anybody will know. It was from my tiny small town, hometown in the Peak District. somebody in top of a village hall. Yeah, but I really like it. It's really nice and sturdy. And then my coffee and yarn cakes, Totoro, Studio Ghibli project bag. Because it's an advent, so it feels appropriate to keep it in a Christmas bag. All of my minis have fallen out of that bag and they're all scattered all over the table now. I am very tired today. I don't know if you can tell that my energy levels are like so all over the place. Just like, I feel like I have talked quite a long time, so I apologise for that. And my tea is cold. I don't know if I showed you this last time. I don't know if it had come yet, but this is I signed up for Suzanne of Green Lambkin Yarn's Advent Blanket Club because the theme is fantastic folklore and I love a bit of English folklore. So I was definitely really up for that. I have only got February and March here. I missed it in January. I signed up just in February, for some reason thinking that I was signing up for the first month, and then when it arrived I was like, well, obviously signing up at the end of February, obviously I missed January. So I haven't done anything with it yet because I'm like in two minds about dropping Suzanne an email and seeing whether she's got any January left. So I haven't started it in case I need to. I haven't decided what to do with it. I don't know if it's going to be something that I just do in sort of stripes from beginning of the year to end of the year. So I don't want to start anything in case I decide to do that and then want to obviously have January at the beginning. But I'm also thinking there's a good chance that I'm probably just going to do squares or something. So we'll see. I might drop Suzanne an email and see if she's got a spare January, but it also feels like at this point in the year, it's May, she probably hasn't got any, but it's always worth an ask. Anyway, so I don't think I've shown these to you. If I have, I apologise, but they're just so gorgeous. They're worth seeing again. So this is February in Mulk. Very, very pretty. And then March was Ostara. Gorgeous. So yeah, I'm just waiting for April's to arrive. Very excited. They should, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they came today, probably like as soon as I finish recording, but I will show them to you next time I record anyway, just in case anybody hasn't seen them. I got DK, I think. Yeah, having had a mixture now of 4-ply blanket clubs and DK blanket clubs from various places, and also like DK advents, 4-ply advents. I prefer, if I'm getting lots of mini skeins, I prefer to get DK because it works up a little bit quicker. So, and when you're getting, I mean, these are 4 minis, so that's like, I'm gonna have 48 by the end of the year, assuming that I can get January. But even then, I'm still gonna have 44, even if I can't get January. So that's a lot of yarn. As I say, this one was just 24 minis and it's enormous, so. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I might just do crochet squares. Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, she did a really nice crocheted squares last year, and I think she just did 1 square per mini, and that was really nice. Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D is doing a really beautiful one where it's like a circle and it looks like a flower. I really like that. It's crocheted. I've never done anything like that with crochet, so there's a bit of me that's like, oh, it would be nice to do something learn a new technique for crochet, but I'm also a bit worried that I just would not want to do it. So I don't know, I'm gonna have a look at some crochet projects because they are so much faster. I think it might be the way for me to actually get a blanket club. And I think I also need something that is going to be join as you go, which does make me think that I should definitely email Suzanne like today and see if she's got a spare January, because I'll want it to start in January. So, but I know myself and I know that I'm not going to sew together all those squares. So if it's something that I can join as I go, that's going to be so much better. And yeah, oh, they're just so beautiful. So beautiful. So that is that. I'm sure I had other things to say. I know what I wanted to say, and I was going to say this last time and I forgot to say it, and then I felt really bad about having not said anything. And I have been thinking about it regularly. I'm feeling very guilty about it, and that is that I wanted to say a big thank you. I started a Ko-fi page so that I could put my sock pattern on my Ko-fi page instead of having it on some other random like Ravelry alternative. I was going to use the Ko-fi page, and it was there, and I set up donations without any expectation whatsoever that anybody would ever want to buy me a coffee, anything like that. But somebody did, and that was so kind and lovely, and it just made me smile and was just a really lovely thing to do. So thank you very much to the person who did that. It meant a lot to me, and yeah. And then what else I got to say? Yeah, oh yeah, I said at the beginning about exciting house stuff. We are in the process currently of moving. I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram. Like I have like a close friends list set up of people who I have spoken to, so I know who they are, because I have a mixture of people on Instagram who I haven't spoken to, and people that I have spoken to, like in DMs and things. So I generally add people to that if we've had a bit of a chat or anything like that. So it was something that I was talking about in that, but we're kind of far enough into the process now that I feel like I can talk about it a bit more. We sort of suddenly realised that we live in a small house for the size of family that we are. So there's 5 of us now, and our eldest needs his own space. He needs somewhere that he can go to where nobody else is going to come and like touch his things, and he can just be in there and like have a bit more control over what's going on. And he needs that space where he can be quiet when he needs to be quiet, or he can like fling himself around on his bed when he needs that kind of like sensory input, and he can't have that at the moment. So we do get quite a lot of like moments where we're like, we need more space, and with Milo getting bigger and things like that, we just we knew it was going to happen. We talked about it while I was pregnant with Milo, that we were going to have to move house, and I think it's just come around a lot faster than we were expecting. So we basically, in the space of like a week, completely like reorganized, and in Andrew's case redecorated parts of the house. He like tiled and painted a kitchen in like a weekend. It was like exciting. He's never tiled anything before and in a weekend he like mastered it. So it was quite a stressful week. And yeah, I mean, the house has been on the market for nearly 2 weeks. In that time we have had an offer accepted on another house, and then somebody like cash buyer come in and be like, yep, we're going to have this house instead, thank you very much. And so then we lost that house, and now we've had an offer accepted on another house, and we're just crossing everything that this one works out. We are still waiting for the right people to see our house, and we're getting a little bit stressed about the fact that they haven't seen it yet. So yeah, but this is the first time that we're like selling a house. When we bought this place, we came out of renting, so that was like a really perfect position to be in. And so now having this, like having the chain, is very stressful, particularly because we're seeing houses that we like, but not lots of houses that we like. So while we have been looking for houses, we have seen 2 houses that we could see ourselves living in. The first one was the one that we put the offer in that went to somebody else, and the second one is the second one that we put the offer in on. So we're like regularly on Rightmove and things, like looking for houses that are right for us, and they're just not coming up. So we're a little bit stressed that that things are not going to come together, but we shall see. So please send good housey vibes my way, because yeah, it's definitely stressful. And if you know anybody in Norfolk who's looking for a 3-bed mid-terrace, then please let me know. I think that is it. I have been talking, I think, for almost an hour. And I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed out that I was going to say that I haven't had a chance to say. I would like to try and do an update again sooner than like a month from now, because I feel like I am working on things quickly enough that I probably have stuff to update you on sooner. But who knows when I'll next get to talk to you. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back into the habit of doing some other videos as well. But as you can imagine, if you have sold a house before, we're definitely in the point where we're like, don't touch that. The house needs to be perfect in case somebody wants to look around. Don't get anything out. The house is basically like, we're trying to keep it tidy, and so like looking at all of this stuff out on the table is stressing me out a bit. I'm going to go and put it all away. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.